Young pretenders to its throne have come and gone, but the Porsche 911 still occupies a unique place in the real-world supercar sector. A direct fuel injection engine and a double-clutch semi-automatic gearbox have kept it up to date, but fortunately those iconic lions remain unaltered, as does the desire for ownership of this car and no other amongst a significant number of target buyers. As automotive legends go, the Porsche 911 is a very good one. Cars that enjoy a committed and loyal enthusiast following are often, when viewed in the cold light of day, just a little bit of rubbish. The 911, on the other hand, has been consistently brilliant since the early 60s. Okay, certain versions may have dipped into the territory of the merely very good, but by and large the 911s has been a glittering odyssey through the automotive ages, made exceptional by the fact that the basic concept behind the car has remained intact throughout. This version, whether you opt for coupe or cabriolet, seeks to move the game on again, but always within the confines of its essential 911-ness. Now, this still qualifies as a 997 series 911, but so far-reaching are the engine and transmission changes that it could almost be a completely different series in its own right. Now, the engine's still a flat 6 and it still sits way out the back of your 911, but these days it's a DFI, or direct fuel injection flat 6. Now, Porsche's DFI system uses a sophisticated engine management computer and high pressure injectors to fire a fuel and air mixture directly into the combustion chamber. Now, the mixture is constantly adjusted according to the demands being placed on the engine at the time. The results are supposed to include a more efficient combustion cycle, superior engine response, and best of all, more power. As a result, the 3.6 litre Carrera model manages 345 brake horsepower, while the S version puts out 385 brake horsepower and manages a top speed of 188 miles an hour. A rest to 60 in the Carrera 2S takes just 4.5 seconds, but you can dispatch it 0.2 seconds faster if, as I've done here, you opt for the PDK semi-automatic transmission. Now, I call it semi-automatic, but actually it's a conventional 7-speed manual gearbox harnessed to a hydraulic control mechanism divided into 2 separate units. There's one clutch looking after the even gears and another clutch looking after the odd ones, and it means that they can work in unison, creating super fast shifting that's about 60% quicker than a conventional automatic transmission could manage. If you've owned an old Porsche 911 with Tiptronic automatic transmission, then you'll notice the difference immediately. You don't need to be an automotive enthusiast to know what one of these is when it blows past you. The 911s is one of the most recognisable shapes on the automotive landscape. This version, well, changes are pretty limited. There are fashionable daytime LED running lights and LED tail lights, and there are larger door mirrors, but that's about it. Inside, the 911 is as classy as its exterior styling would lead you to expect. Expensively slush-moulded materials dominate the fascia, a huge relief and improvement over the hard plastic seen in the old 996 series. The PCM Porsche Communications Management System dominates the fascia with its 6.5-inch colour screen, and it bundles together a whole series of different things. You've got satellite navigation, you've got various settings menus, you've even got an optional TV tuner as well as the audio settings. The seats are great, and there are no fewer than 4 different seating options, depending on how racy you want to feel. In the Cabriolet model, the press of a button opens or closes the roof in just 20 seconds, something you can do at speeds of up to 31 miles an hour. Now, because the Cabriolet is just 85 kilograms heavier than the coupe on which it's based, there's virtually no performance penalty for choosing it. Folding metal roofs? Who needs them? One nice thing about the 911 Cabriolet is that it doesn't suffer in terms of boot space compared with its coupe counterpart. The boot in this case, of course, being at the front. As you can see, you've got the same One thing to bear in mind is that if you go for the four-wheel drive C4 version, then boot space does fall significantly from 135 to 105 litres. You'll pay somewhere between £65,000 and £85,000 for your new 911, assuming you're not looking at one of the racy GT2 or GT3 variants, or indeed the jaw-droppingly fast turbo. The first decision you'll make in the standard 911 range is between the Carrera 2 and the all-wheel drive Carrera 4 models, offered at a premium of around £4,500. Then you have a choice to make between the 345 brake horsepower engine offered in the standard variant or the 385 brake horsepower engine offered in the S models, offered at a premium of around £7,000, and that's about the same amount that you'll need to graduate from the coupe body style to the Cabriolet one. My personal favourite is a nice compromise between these two, the glass-roofed Targa version. Once you've made the body style choice, next up is the decision about transmission. There's the choice of the lovely manual gearbox that pure 911 owners will always choose, or this new PDK semi-automatic transmission that for urban users really offers very little downside once they get out on the open road. Finally, you've got the choice from that bulging options list, which even includes things like launch control, able to shed another 0.2 seconds from your 0 to 62 miles an hour sprint time. Decisions, decisions. At least today's options list no longer includes expensive but must-have features like the Porsche Stability Management System, PSM, which today is not only standard but also includes things like brake assist and the brake pre-filing systems that were once the preserve only of higher spec models. Porsche's vehicle tracking system is also standard, approved to Thatcham Category 5. Even the mighty 911 needs to toe the environmental line these days, and the improvements brought about by these DFI engines have helped not only performance but reduced emissions and improved economy. In addition, the PDF gearbox has no negative impact on either. For the Carrera 2, those economy figures are between 28 and 29.5 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle, with emissions of between 225 and 242 grams per kilometre. If you go for the C4 version, then emissions rise between 237 and 251 grams per kilometre. Insurance groupings, well, they're either 19 or Group 20, depending on whether you go for the standard or the S variant. After years of trying but failing to topple Porsche's sports car crown, a select band of rival manufacturers were starting to get uncomfortably close. There are some serious products out there in the £60,000 to £90,000 sports car sector, but this 911 represents Porsche's riposte. The DFI engine and the PDK gearbox innovations are significant landmarks in the history of a car famed for its gradual evolution. A formidable technological package then, with cutting-edge technology that competitors underestimate at their peril. This, along with the car's unparalleled heritage, may still be enough to seduce discerning sports car buyers. For me, it's still the car to beat. One day, I'm going to own one.